KO Kenny, and I'm back for some KO boxing talk. Let's do it. I've been trying to figure out ways to go live more often, but I've been having a lot of difficulties in doing so. First and foremost, finding somewhere to live stream in Washington Heights, New York is damn near impossible. There's noise everywhere, motorcycles, cars passing around with booming music. You know, everywhere you go, it's super packed over here in Washington Heights, Manhattan. So it is what it is, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best out here and trying to figure out how to bring content to people for y'all and shit. And here we go. Last night, hell of a fucking action-packed boxing match. Nothing that any of us expected either. Up here we go, the car noise. But yeah, I'm at the park somewhere near my crib because trying to get somewhere quiet to stream even from my own home can be a little crazy. Hold on, this sun is bothering me a little bit too. Here we go. All right, here we go. So first, congratulations to Tank. He did his thing, 5 rounds and change. He did his thing how he should have. And big congratulations and big ups to Rolly, Rolly looked way better than any of us expected him to. Got some nice flowers over here behind me and shit, Rolly looked way better than anybody expected him to. What's good, Tony Pugilist boy, my guy? How you doing? Trying to find places to stream out here in New York, but it'd be difficult. Everywhere's loud, everywhere's busy. So I just came to a random spot in the park and pulled out my phone, and here we are streaming. But big ups to Riley, man. Riley came out with a lot of action. Plus, before coming out with all the action and fighting, Riley ain't know what the fuck to do when he hit the main platform and hit the boxing ring, and everybody was watching and the crowd was so big. He was looking up at the crowd like, oh my God, I've never seen this much people. He looked amazed. He looked shocked. It was funny though. Gotta give the kid his props, because although he looked like he was nervous and like the crowd was getting to him, he went out there and he did what he had to do, man. He ain't win the fight, but he was aggressive enough and strong enough to land some good punches on Tank and make it look like if it was serious. Although Tank ate it, we know that Tank has a nice solid chin. We know that Riley has a solid chin too. Although Tank got that beautiful counter punch right in there. He definitely hurt the man badly. At first I was like, what's the ref doing? Why are they stopping this shit? But no. As I seen some replays, as I seen Riley getting up and Riley trying to talk and shit, Riley looked crazy. That fight got stopped right when it should have gotten stopped. It makes complete sense to me that it got stopped at that point. But do have to say, Rolly looked way better than all of us thought he was gonna look. Nobody actually thought that he was really gonna land some punches on Tank. He did land some good, powerful punches on Tank. Although Tank came back and he did what he had to do, man. Tank came back with the beautiful counter punch in the 5th round. And you know what? Tank, his defense was looking amazing. He was looking very Mayweather-esque in there. Very official. I thought that he was gonna start turning up the Money Mayweather game plan for the whole fight. I thought he was gonna, take it easy, fall back, and not really go hard at trying to get the knockout. But he got the knockout, and as he said, he didn't even put full punching power into that punch. He just let it go with regular power, and Rolly ran right into it. Exactly what Rolly said that Tank was gonna do, which is actually pretty fucking comedy. Instead of Tank running right into a right hand, Rolly ran right into a left hand counter that put the man down. But Rolly just opened up a new world of business for himself, Rolly about to go hard right now. The world now knows who Rolly is, at least the world of New York. They now know who the hell Rolly is, because there was a hell of a lot of people at that fight yesterday. I'm trying to situate myself better as I talk. There was a hell of a lot of people at that fight yesterday. It was a packed stadium. 19,000 they said sold. 19,000 sold. And I be talking shit about Leonard Ellerbe and all this shit, because they all be talking mad shit. That be a whole lot of lying type of bullshit. But change of view. I wanted to have the flowers behind me, but it's becoming a little uncomfortable. But look, They sold 19 fucking thousand with Tank being the fucking Tank and Roll. There we go. All right, this works perfect. So they sold 19,000 with Tank and Rolly as the main attractions. It's a little crazy because we know that Tank is a star. Tank is a certified star. We know that now 100% facts because what we've seen him do. We know the man plays no games. We know that everybody in New York knows him and everybody in Baltimore knows him. And like Leonard Ellerbe said, they could probably take him anywhere and sell out. But Rolly, the fact that Tank sold the place out with Rolly, yeah, Rolly's trash talking was amazing. But it wasn't that amazing to sell out the Barclays, although the Barclays don't have all the millions of seats and shit. It wasn't that amazing to sell out the Barclays. But whatever, he sold out the Barclays with Rolly. That shows that Tank has a hell of a lot of star power. And that people were actually believing some of the trash talk that Rolly was saying. Rolly, not all of his trash talk was, like extra intelligent and shit like that because he sounds a little crazy sometimes with his lisp. He be saying motherfucker way too much. He's just way too aggressive with his shit. Regardless, Tony, regardless of if the tickets were super cheap, that shit sold out. Fuck it. Like, look. If I would have known tickets were super cheap, I would have gone myself to the stadium, but I ain't know anything about that. But yo, I'm excited to see what the future has for both Rolly and Tank. I really do hope that Tank ends up leaving the money team because that's just gonna, if he stays there, that's just gonna harm his career. As he said, he's not to the point where he needs to start fighting people, actual people, champs, people that are skilled, not fighting Rollies. He can't be fighting Rollies, although Rolly has a lot of trash talk that got people amped, but people don't know who Rolly is. If it was Rolly versus somebody else, that amount of people would not have shown up and shown out to the stadium. Tony, what prices were the tickets at? Because I didn't even look into it. I was like, fuck it. The way I figured was, if the pay-per-view is $75, then the tickets at the Barclays got to be outrageous. So I didn't even look into the ticket pricing. Let me know what the ticket pricing was like. But so where does Tank go from here? Who should Tank be fighting next? I would love to see Tank against Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is a step up from Rolly in terms of skill. They probably got similar power. Ryan Garcia is faster, more skilled, more well put together in his boxing much of a long time. And so I think Ryan Garcia will be able to make more adjustments against Tank. Not that I think Ryan Garcia will win, but that's the person I like to see him up against. I know he should be belt chasing, so he should be going after like Devin Haney and Kambosos and such. But Devin Haney and Kambosos, they got a rematch clause. No matter who wins that fight, I think there's going to be a rematch. Whether it's Haney or Kambosos that wins, I think there's going to be a rematch in that fight. So Tank doesn't want to be sitting out for a while. I think that it's time for Tank to fight like Ryan Garcia and some of the other names at 135. He did say he's not going to go back down to 130. That 135 is where he feels comfortable at. And I'm all for that. It makes complete sense. Why go drop some more pounds and make yourself potentially weak or uncomfortable against 135 pounders that are used to that weight class? It makes sense for him to stay at 135 pounds. I don't have the rankings right in front of me right at this moment to be able to say who I think he should fight, and I'm terrible with names, so I'm not going to pull the names up out of my head. But Teofimo Lopez was saying that he'd love to see him go up to 140, which I think is a crock of shit. Teofimo Lopez, he needs to stop playing and figure his shit out. He should have never fought Kambosos at 135 if he was going to come up with the excuses that Kambosos, that 135 just wasn't the weight class and that he was getting weight drained at that weight class. Yo, what's good? Shoe shine, can't complain, bro. Out here out in public, it'd be too hard sometimes to stream from my crib or anywhere else. So I'm really trying to go hard at this YouTube shit, at my music career, everything that I do. So I'm gonna start putting in the extra work and extra time and going to different places and stream from different places. I gotta get a mic too, so I can stream on the go, so the audio comes out clear. I don't know how the audio really comes in from my phone like this, but fuck it, we gonna work it. Nah. Marion Brown, you say Shakur, but I'm not gonna say Shakur specifically because it makes sense what Leonard Ellerbe said yesterday, which is that Shakur is a fighter at 130-pound division. People always talk shit about Tank fighting the smaller guys and making the smaller guys go up in weight class to 135 to fight him. So it wouldn't even make sense for Tank to entertain the Shakur Stevenson fight just yet, at least not until Shakur Stevenson establishes himself at 135 pounds, and he's not currently there. I would love to see, Marion, I do agree that I would love to see Tank fight Ryan. Thank you for the audio check, Tony. I agree. I would love to see him fight Ryan. Determines who fights Haney and Kambosos' winner. I agree. That be Ryan. I think is the next fight for Tank Davis, and Tank is the next fight for Ryan Garcia. That needs to happen. They're both really good fighters. They both have a very, very big name. They cannot lose from this. They both win and gain in popularity from this. They both win a hell of a lot of money if they fought each other. Who gives a fuck? Somebody's gonna get a loss. So fucking what? Somebody's has got to go. Boxing is not about keeping an unbeaten record. Boxing is about fighting the best that there is out there and either beating the ass, putting in work, or just fighting as hard as you can, doing what Riley did. Who the fuck thought that Riley was gonna look as good as he did yesterday? None of us really thought that he was good. He looked, I think, from what I was expecting from Riley yesterday, I think Riley looked fucking amazing. Amazing. Yeah, you know, a little awkward, a little rough, and a little excessive at times, but I think he looked amazing. The referee, I think, was sucking a little too much of Tank's penis. You know, Riley was getting too much warnings up until the referee gave Tank a warning, because Tank was the man that was grabbing, and Riley was the one getting the warnings for trying to get the grabbing man off him. Yes, he was doing too much, and the elbows and all that, whatever, but still, the referee was doing way too much. Let the men fight. If you're going to call shit, call it against both fighters, not against one. Who do you think will win between Tank and Ryan? Well, I'm going to tell you that I think Tank wins that fight. Tank is saying just the right shit that I want to hear Tank saying right at this moment. Saying how he's going to be leaving Mayweather and the money team. How he's going to be looking for these big fights. How it's time. It's time to prove that he's the best in the world. You know, so, and besides that, I think that they both Tank and Ryan Garcia have amazing skills. They both have great skills. The difference is, though, Ryan Garcia is unsure of his skills. He's mentally unsure of his abilities and his skills, which is why he took that year of mental health off, that mental break. Tank used to be there. If you notice, there's a big difference in Tank's behavior and Tank's demeanor from this fight to previous fights. This fight, he was handling his own. There was no Mayweather holding his hand, telling him what to do. He was out there stuttering and sounding non-educated all by himself and not giving a fuck. Fully confident in all that. Fully confident in his abilities and what he was going to do in that ring. That tells me, besides seeing the skill sets that both of them have, that Tank would 100% be the man to win that fight. Especially, we've seen Ryan Garcia get knocked down by Luke Campbell. We have not seen Tank get knocked down. Yeah, we seen Ryan Garcia get back up, but we also saw Tank get hit by some very strong blows yesterday by Riley, and he wasn't even fazed by those punches. Yeah, he got a little marked up on the forehead, but it seemed like he wasn't even fazed by those punches. Tank over Ryan for me, 100%, Tony. I got Tank over Ryan hands down any day. I put all my money on Tank right now. Ryan, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Ryan Garcia. I think he's a great fighter too, but I got Tank. Ryan was dropped by Luke. That's a fact. Tank has a chin. Tank has a hell of a fucking chin, bro. He ate those Riley punches, and they didn't even seem buzzed or like anything. And Riley was swinging for the fences. And regarding that, Marion Brown says, yeah, Tank struggles early in fights, but he always lands the big shot eventually. There was something that Tank said yesterday in his post-fight interview about that. He mentioned how he needs to warm up some more before fights because he starts off slow and it takes him a little bit to get in the groove and the action of things. And once he gets in the action of things, he starts putting the punches together and putting in work and completely beating his opposition. I did see that. The first round and some of the second round, Tank was semi-slow at starting. Riley had a really good second round, and then Tank started turning it up. And after Tank started turning it up, Riley was having a hard time doing what he wanted to do and doing what he needed to do. What I did find funny, though, that I did not think was possible, was that Riley had quite a bit of adjustments that he made. I did not think Riley had any adjustments to make. I did not think Riley had anything in the tank, bro. Not in the tank, excuse me. I didn't think he had any adjustments. He didn't have anything in his mind of game plans of what he was going to switch and what he was going to do different in certain portions. But he did. He did. After the second round where he was going in on Tank, Tank started fighting more defensive-ish Floyd Mayweather type of style. And Rolly was chasing nonstop, and eventually he switched from chasing to trying to land the jab. The jab that at first looked very funny as he was throwing it, but he switched to trying to land the jab and make that the primary punch, and he was doing very, very well in doing that. It wasn't nothing that I expected. I expected him to just continue throwing these super wide hooks, these what I call home run swings of punches. You know, he was doing the most. He was doing a lot, but it worked to some extent for him. And eventually, Tank did exactly what he had to do. He came back with the counter, with the KO punch. Looked amazing in doing it. What is next for Riley? Riley should go and shit. If I was Riley, I'd be chasing fights like Isaac Cruz. Ryan Garcia talking about Isaac Cruz, I think that's stupid because Isaac Cruz is a very big risk for any fighter. Isaac Cruz can box, he can fight. And for Ryan Garcia, a guy who is currently being talked about as if he's at the top, he shouldn't be looking for tune-ups. The only thing that Ryan Garcia is doing by putting himself in there against a dude like Isaac Cruz is taking the risk that he doesn't need to take. If he was to just go in there against Tank, that'd be a risk that, if Ryan Garcia was to lose against Tank, who's gonna really talk shit about Ryan Garcia losing to Tank? Who's gonna have any negative thoughts or remarks on that? I won't. Tank is a great fighter. The only shit that I've ever had to talk about Tank is the fact that he's being brought up in a specific way where it's like he's being coddled and shit by the money team. But it seems like that's gonna end because I don't think he's gonna continue with the money team anymore. Did you see Ryan lost 20K to Errol Spence ringside? Nah. That's crazy, but I did see Ryan betting that Riley was gonna win in 2 rounds or some shit like that, and if the fight went past 9 rounds, that Tank was gonna win. Look, bro, I had Tank winning regardless. I had Tank winning regardless of if it went 12 rounds or it was knockout. You know, I did enjoy Rolly's hype, and I was on Rolly's hype train because I enjoyed the shit that he was talking and the energy that he was bringing to the table. But that does not in any form mean that I thought Riley was gonna win. I thought Tank was gonna win. In fact, I thought this fight was gonna go 12 rounds because I thought they would both feel each other's punching power, and I felt that after they felt each other's punching power, they were both gonna like back up a little bit, not go for the home run punch, as I say, as crazy as they did. But they didn't care. They still went at it. They still went hard. They didn't give a damn. So, look. The knockout happened because they didn't give a damn. They both kept coming forward. They both kept going hard. I did think it was going to be a 12-round fight, though, but it is what it is. Whatever. Rematch. Rolly's calling for the rematch, and I doubt that rematch is going to happen, specifically because the answer that Tank said at the post-fight press conference. Tank made it very clear and simple and concise, easy. And what Tank said is specifically that he does not see a point for a rematch. That he would see a point for a rematch if the fight would have gone 9, 10 or so rounds, but the fight ended in 5 rounds. That Tank was winning on the scorecards for the most part before then, so that he doesn't see what Riley was doing or why Riley deserves a rematch. There's no point. It wasn't a close fight. If it was a close fight, he'd understand. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say I don't see there being a rematch at all. There's no reason for it. I do agree with Tank. Tank needs to move to bigger, better things. And Riley should be moving to opponents, trying to challenge opponents like Isaac Cruz, now that Riley has a name, right? I say a name because he was in front of 19,000 in Barclays in New York City. Anything you do big in New York City is just like doing something big in Cali, LA, Vegas, and shit like that. Shit blows up. Shit's like, you do something big and something good in New York or in Cali, it blows up. People start hearing about you. Serrano versus Taylor sold more tickets. 100%. That was a historical fight. Tank has to go bigger now. What do you mean he has to go bigger, Tony? Go bigger as in get bigger and promote his fights better, or go bigger as in bigger stadiums, or go bigger as in higher weight class? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. But yo, look. I would like to see Rolly against Isaac Cruz. I think that's a fight that's winnable for both Rolly and Isaac Cruz. And I do want to see Rolly go against high opposition. He impressed me. I saw before this Tank fight. I saw the last 3, 4 fights that he was in, and when he stepped up to fighting 12-round fights, and I think he's impressive. Uh, for a dude that started boxing at 17, his work ethic is serious. His abilities for a dude that started boxing at 17 are really, really good, amazing, and the full belief in himself, bro. That's something that people don't have. Look at Ryan Garcia. Imagine if Ryan Garcia believed in himself the way that Rolly believed in himself, bro. That'd be crazy. Tank says he has to get bigger fights with bigger. Oh, that's a fact. But see, that's 100% possible now. It was always possible, but not with the money team. Now that he's supposedly not signing again with the money team, I think he's gonna sign probably with Al Heyman and PBC, but not the money team. So he's gonna probably have his own promotional rights or something like that. Although honestly, I think that he should go be a free agent, go chill a little bit with Canelo, take some notes from the Canelo handbook, and figure out what it is that Canelo is doing or how Canelo's doing shit, and follow that same train. Because look, Goat Nello is fighting the top dogs and looking really good and competitive in those fights. Even if he lost to Bivol, yeah, that's a big loss. Like, it's a loss, whatever. But you know what? With what Canelo says, with the way that he's going, nobody gives a shit that he lost against Bivol. He's probably gonna fight Bivol again. So it is what it is. Like, yo, let's get my man Tank Davis off of PBC and let's get him somewhere else where he's gonna be fighting the top dogs. Because look, Tank Davis got it in him. The man can box. He can be one of the greatest in the sports ever. He can. It's just you have to put him against opposition. He has to fight those fighters. He has the defense. He has the power. And with the way that he trained for this Riley fight, I think he definitely had the gas tank to keep going and stay agile and stay defensive for the entire fight and not start getting caught. There was a moment that it looked as if Tank Davis had hurt his hand or his arm again. But at the post-fight interview, Tank Davis said that he didn't hurt his arm, that he was completely fine. Hold on. Eddie Hearn gonna be looking for Tank to join match. Yo, I'm fully for that. Eddie Hearn and Tank, that's a match made in heaven right there. I would love to see that, because you know what? There's something that Eddie Hearn definitely does, and that's he puts his fighters against opposition that are risky. He puts his fighters in good fights, regardless of if they have the possibility of losing. For Eddie Hearn, it's not about keeping the O and keeping his fighters safe. For Eddie Hearn, it's about building his fighters' brand, about making money for him, his stable, and for the fighter themselves. So I would love for him to go join Eddie Hearn in Matchroom. Excuse me. But look, both of these guys won a hell of a lot yesterday. They gained a hell of a lot yesterday. I'm not gonna talk about Erislandy Lara and Spike O'Sullivan. I'll talk about that on Wednesday on No Cap Boxing. This was just a little quick knocked out boxing talk, maybe a good 30-40 minute session. We'll see how it goes. But yo, if you're watching, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, go check out my music, all on the table, KO Kenny, on all streaming platforms. Alright, let's keep it moving forward though. Leonard Ellerbe was doing a little bit of what Mayweather does, and he was talking a little bit about himself and PBC, and oh, this is what I do, and the numbers that tickets that sold at the stadium, and all this other stuff. Just saying senseless shit that he shouldn't be saying. He should have been talking about Tank the entire time, but it is what it is. Who gives a fuck about what the PBC is doing? Who gives a fuck about what Leonard Ellerbe is doing? We only really care about the fighters and the action that they got going on in the ring. Ellerbe, fall back and shut the fuck up. Tank needs to practice his speaking just a little bit more. His verbiage. He doesn't say enough on the mic, and when he does try to say something, I feel like I understand what he's trying to say, and most people understand what he's trying to say, but he's just not saying it in English. What he's saying is just not coming out properly in English. It is what it is. I'm not hating on the kid though. He's great. He's great, and he got a hell of a future ahead of him. or he's currently there. The kid is gonna be making mad bread, big bread. And there was a hell of a lot of celebrities there yesterday at Barclays Center. It was pretty cool, pretty cool. Gotta give props for what the man's doing. Besides that, let's see, where do we go? Tank should fight Ryan Garcia. Rolly should fight Issa Cruz. There will be no rematch. Leonard Ellerbe's talking too much shit. Mayweather didn't show up. Mayweather wasn't in attendance. Tank ain't as bad as Rolly at talking. Riley needs a translator. I don't know, man. I don't know, Tony, because Tank, Rolly has a lot more words that he uses and says. Tank kind of just stays in the same realm of words. Like, and yeah, Rolly says motherfucker too much, and his tone of voice sounds annoying as shit. And also, I think Rolly just sounds more annoying. But Rolly, I think, uses way more words and has way of a larger vocabulary than Tank does. But it is what it is. But yeah, Mayweather did not show up to the event. I didn't think he would. I think it's a bitch-ass move by Mayweather. I think it shows that Tank is definitely going to be leaving the money team. And it's all Mayweather's fault because Mayweather was just trying to coddle the dude and keep him safe. Keep him safe from other fighters and just continue banking on large percentages of the man's bankroll. But if he goes independent, there's none of that bankroll that Mayweather could touch or fuck around with. So independence boxing is where it's at for Tank. He needs to go independent. GTD Promotions is where it's at for him. He needs to not mess around with the money team or PBC. I guess, Eddie Hearn in the zone, that could work because Eddie Hearn's only playing games. Eddie Hearn be putting his fighters in danger. And that's kind of what Tank needs right now. Tank needs to knock out all the great opposition. Tank said he may go up to fight at 140 again. I honestly don't want to see him fight at 140. I think he should go belt collecting and belt chasing at 130. It's a shame what's happened with Teofimo Lopez. With all the hate and all the stupid nonsense that he be saying over there on the side. It's a damn shame. Feel bad for the dude. He started training again to start fighting at 140 and do his thing at 140. We'll see what happens. At 140, I think he has he'll have a great career. I think the guy can box. He has skills. It's just that, why? Bro, it's like he's getting defeated by his mind, by his brain right now. Why is he talking the shit he's talking? Why is he saying what he's saying? Why is he hating on people the way he's hating? Everybody sees this. It's not like people think that what he's saying is true. Everybody knows that what he's saying is trash and false. And as long as he continues saying these things and building these narratives, it's not like he's gaining more fans or people are believing in him. And he's just he's shooting himself more in the foot. So Teo was my boy. We met in New York. And listen, man, Teo's humble. Teo's a humble, cool, chill dude when you meet him in person. But when Teo's talking to these cameras with these dumbass narratives he be building, I don't give a fuck how cool and humble he is in person. He sounds like a fucking idiot. Oh, the zone set me up. It was all the zone's fault. It was predestined for Kambosos and Devin Haney to fight, and that's why I lost the fight. It was predestined. I was gonna lose the fight before the fight was even enough. Shut the fuck up. Fuck out of here with that clown shit, nigga. Fucking idiot. And just talking shit about 140, he shouldn't even be mentioning Tank, saying, oh yeah, Tank needs to come see me at 140 pounds. Tank shut the fuck up, Teo. You just left 135 pounds after you fucking took a loss to Kambosos. And you had a fucking rematch that you could have taken, and you decided not to. Fuck out of here. Cry me a river, Teofimo Lopez. Go sit in your own fucking seat by your damn self and cry me a fucking river, nigga, because you talking too much shit that don't even make sense. It don't make sense. Now, coming soon, I am so excited for Kambosos Haney. We'll talk about that on Wednesday too. But yo, Tank versus Kambosos or Tank versus Haney, those are two hell of a big fights too. But like I said earlier, those wouldn't be happening immediately or anytime soon, specifically because of the contract and the rematch clause in the contract. It is what it is. But I think that Tank could be either Devin Haney or George Kambosos as well. Both of them could catch the hands and potentially get knocked out. Look, Devin Haney don't got no chin like that. Devin Haney, he has speed. He has a great boxing ability, great defense. But look, everybody gets hit at some point in a fight with a hard punch, and I think Devin Haney definitely goes down with a Tank Davis punch. George Kambosos, potentially the same thing. George Kambosos got caught late in the fight by Teofimo Lopez. I think if Teofimo Lopez would have had a better game plan against George Kambosos, I think Teofimo Lopez could have potentially got that win. But Teofimo Lopez went in there listening to his foolish, aggressive father telling him, knock the motherfucker out, bro. Knock the motherfucker out, bro. Sound like a fucking idiot. Yo, I swear, man. Women drivers are terrible, bro. They're terrible. Aggressive and do a whole bunch of shit doesn't even make sense for no reason. And you can quote me on that. It's not sexist, it's real. I state my opinions and my views. What I see happen is what I'm gonna state. It is what it is. But yo, Teofimo Lopez needs to shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear him calling out Tank Davis. Talking about come to 140. Shut the fuck up. Go back down to 135 and fight Kambosos again. Shut up. Funny clown ass dude. Who else we got? Yeah, Tank. I would love to see him against both Kambosos and Haney when that second rematch clause goes away. I think that right now Tank is settled. I think Tank is gonna be undisputed at 135. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments in the chat. But I think Tank is going to be undisputed at 135. Shit. Once Shakur goes up to 135, I think Tank beats that man too. But you know, the career seems very limited for me as I see Tank and where he's at and where I think he's headed. His career seems very limited for me because with his size, I only see him fighting at 135. He said he's not going back down to 130, that he feels comfortable at 135. So that limits the opponents and opposition that he can have. And if he's only going to be doing title fights and fights against great fighters, then there are but so many great fighters at 135 that he could fight. You know what I'm saying? Even if he was to go up down to 130, like I said, people are gonna be talking shit about who he's fighting there, and there aren't that many fighters for him to fight there too. Plus, if he goes down to 130 and he loses or something like that, people are gonna be talking so much more smack. I think 135 is where it's at. 135 is where he finds the most opposition that gives him a challenge. And plus, Shakur Stevenson plans on going up to 135 at a certain point. So if you do wanna, which is a fight that has to happen, Shakur Stevenson and Tank has to happen at some point in the future. Just not right away, because then they're gonna be talking shit about Tank Davis, like he's fighting smaller guys and waiting for them to go up in opposition so he can cherry pick them. But that fight has to happen at some point, Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis. Teofimo Lopez needs to shut up and he needs to figure out who he's gonna face at 140. Let him establish himself at 140 before he starts talking. Like, why is he calling up Tank Davis from 135-pound division? He left that division. Zip it up. Don't talk shit. Shut up, Teo. It gets me so upset. He should be calling out and talking about the dudes at 140. Ramirez, Taylor, Prograde, Catterall. Those are the guys he should be calling out and talking shit about. Not fucking 135. You left that weight class because you said you couldn't make it. Now stop it, chump. Stop it. Fucking that's New York for you. Noise everywhere. But let's see. What else do I have? What else do I have on Tank and Riley for you? Besides the amazement of Tank, people were saying at the end of the fight that Rolly should have done a post-fight interview, and that was disrespectful that he didn't do one. People were saying that. Errol Spence specifically said that, and a few other people said that. They were saying that, not noticing that Rolly had just gotten knocked the fuck out. Like he was really out. It looked like it wasn't that hard of a punch, but Rolly ran the fuck into that shit, and it hit him right in the fucking chin. When he went down, Rolly was dazed. At the end of the fight, once they had called the fight off, he asked his team, what happened? What happened, bro? If you ask your team what happened, I mean, I know the punch came that fast, and he didn't see the punch coming at him, and the knockout wasn't a snap of a finger, I get that. But yo, for you to ask your team what happened after getting knocked out, yeah, you need medical attention. That's exactly what they did. They took him to the back to give him medical attention. So, and he did give a interview in the post-fight press conference. Although it was a doodle interview where he only said a couple of words and asked for him to get the rematch against Tank, he still gave an interview. I think that both of these guys need to get better with their trash talk and their pre and post-fight call-outs and shit like that. Yeah. It is what it is. Ellerbe needs to fall back and shut up. Well, this is what I do. This is what I do. They asked him several times at the end of the fight if he was still Tank's promoter and what Tank's plan is and what Tank's contract negotiations are. And he goes, well, I'm not going to discuss Tank or any other fighter's contract here live with you guys. That's not going to happen. Trying to act like he's a great businessman. Shut up. You just don't know what's going to happen. That's the fact. Leonard Ellerbe has no idea what's going to happen with Tank. Tank is definitely putting the foot on the gas. He may be leaving. And it is what it is. Yeah, Carm, I had to come to the streets today because my apartment was too noisy. And everywhere in Washington Heights is too noisy. So I'm going to start doing this shit in the streets more often. I'm going to get a mic that connects to my phone. And look, I want to go harder with this YouTube boxing shit, with my music and with content creation and media and shit like that. I want to go much harder, and with the constraints of my home and everything, it's difficult to go as hard as I want to go because the noise and stuff like that. But you know what? I'm in the streets. It is what it is. I'm streaming from the street. There's going to be noise interference. It is what it is. Nothing I can do about it, but we out here. We making it happen. It's hot as fuck out here, though. I'm missing my AC in my crib, but whatever. So, I got a couple takeaways from here before I do call it quits, because I'm getting hot as hell. We're reaching up on the 40-minute mark, and I got a lot to do today. But a couple takeaways from here. Tank will be undisputed at 135, and I'm saying that not because of what he did in this fight with Rolly, but because it finally seems like Tank is serious and ready to take his career seriously and not be put on the whole Mayweather take you slow, the money train. There we go. I'm gonna call it the money train, because it's the taking it slow, putting you against easy opposition and charging big dollars because of the popularity that you have. So 1, Tank will be undisputed. 2, the next fight that I think we're gonna see is Tank versus Rolly. There was a little situation with Leonard Ellerbe and Ryan. Excuse me, not Tank versus Rolly. Tank versus Ryan. There was a couple situations where Leonard Ellerbe and Ryan in the stadium were having conversations, negotiations, and he was saying that Golden Boy wasn't willing to do it, but Ryan Garcia was like, "Mark my words, I am going to make this fight happen." We'll see. Is he still cloud chasing? I don't know. I don't believe Ryan Garcia in the shit he says too much, because he very often comes out his face and calls people out and then backs out. We've seen it happen with Jojo Diaz. We've seen it happen with Javier Fortuna. We've seen it happen and we've seen it happen with Isaac Cruz. Too many people. I don't want to believe in what Ryan Garcia says. But I do believe that Tank is going to start fighting all the best opposition that he could fight. And if Ryan Garcia is one of those names, he needs to take him out, take him in there, take him out ASAP. What's another takeaway? Rolly is not a newfound star on the level of Gervonta Davis, but Rolly will never fight in an empty stadium again. All the fights that Rolly had before this Gervonta Tank Davis fight, all the fights he had before this, they were all in like a very small stadium or a very small situation where it's like maybe 100 people or something like that watching. That's never going to happen again. Rolly's going to be in big shows and big fights. I think people enjoy the trash talking. I think people enjoy somebody swinging for the fences and trying to knock the other dude out, and they also enjoy someone who has full belief in themselves and their abilities. And then my wishes from this show before I get out of here. I wish that Tank does not re-sign with PBC or the money team. I think it's over for the money team, but he may be looking at PBC. And yeah, what else? That's about it. This is all about Tank and Rolly. I got a whole lot of other shit to talk about boxing, but not necessarily for this show. This is just a little quick recap and bring back regarding Riley and Tank Davis. I do have a bunch of notes and shit I want to talk about on my phone, but it's hard to look at your notes and stream from your phone at the same time, so I can't even look at my notes to see what I got going on. It is what it is, though. We gonna get better at this mobile streaming shit, and we gonna continue bringing y'all content. If it wasn't raining yesterday, me and the Mill would have gone down to Barclays and interviewed people outside the Barclays and stuff like that, but the rain ain't let us do what we wanted to do, and it is what it is. But yo, I'm about to get up out of here, and I'm about to go meet up with Maestro A in the Bronx, and get some work done. Get some work done for YouTube, for streams, for the channels. You already know. Got to keep growing and building this shit. If you don't already, do me a favor and go check out KO Kenny, all on the table, on all streaming platforms. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit the like button, share the video, show me love. We're gonna continue working, we're gonna continue growing. Thank you all for tuning in, thank you all for supporting me. Y'all have a great day, enjoy the weather, enjoy your weekend. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for Mano a Mano, and I'll catch you Wednesday for No Cap Boxing. Continue supporting me, yo. Y'all take care, peace, mad love. Have a great day, y'all.